Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Good. First, I would like to thank you for coming to this chance and give me a chance to speak here. And today we are going to talk about the most important job in the world. In fact, many people think that this job is not as important as any other job like doctors, engineers, or a pilot. So, today I'm going to talk about teachers. Yeah, before we're talking, and since we are now studying here in the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, we are all going to be a good teacher. So we should prepare ourselves to be a good teacher. And then some questions will be coming up like how to be a good teacher, or are you good enough to be a good teacher? And then before answering those questions, I would like to explain why I say that teacher is the most important job in the world. Well, in Indonesia, being a doctor is the most precious job in here. When we're a child, or when we're in the elementary school, if our teacher asks us what our dream is, and then we say that we are going to be a teacher, we want to be a doctor. Sorry, why? Because in Indonesia there is a mindset in our people like being a doctor. The pride of being a doctor is much higher than any other job.
Sure.
And then I think it's not true, because you know what? Without a teacher, there will be no doctors.
Sure.
Yeah, and then it means that teacher is much more important than a doctor. So teacher is the most important job in the world. And now I would like to explain how to be a good teacher. The first and the only one, in my opinion, is the most important requirement of being a good teacher is that we should have a good relationship with our students. The relationships that we build with our students is much important. It's so important. When one day, a long time ago, my friend, who is a teacher, said to me that I wasn't paid to make my students like me. I was paid to make them understand what I taught them. And then I smiled to him and said, how could children learn something from someone they don't like? How? They won't get anything from you. Trust me. No. How can you learn something from someone you don't like? No matter how smart you are, how genius you are, or how easy is the material or the subject, you will never learn anything from someone you don't like.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, the most important thing is build the relationship. Make your children and make your students like you. Make your students love the way you teach. So no matter how good you are in delivering the materials to your students, it means nothing if you have bad relationship with your students. So building relationships with your student is the key to make the learning process works properly, and it works better than ever before. I'm so excited to be a good teacher. I hope you too. Thank you.
Any question?
Okay, my name is Diana Utama. Now I want to ask Mr. Ari, Mr. Buchori about this one. As we know that in our country, it's quite hard to what is it, to product to make a good output for being a teacher, because as we know that almost all of the teachers come from the students or come from someone who actually they don't want to be a teacher, but because of the situation they become a teacher, so that it's kind of forced of the life. And then was it to, as we know that in Finland that actually for being a teacher is very hard, because the student who want to be a teacher should get so many great grades in their university. But in our country, it's quite easy for being a teacher, so that it also influences the output of the teacher itself. So that what I want to say is we have a really great young generation here, but also the teachers also sometimes, not all, that some of them are not capable to being a teacher. So that what's the government? What if you become a government, or if you become someone who make a rule? What do you do to increase the educational system in our country?
Next question.
Okay, then. Okay, thank you, Mr. Gina, for
Oh,
this question. Miss Gina, sorry for your question. If I were government, if I have some kind of role to make a regulation to make to know what is it to for a teacher for a teacher for a teacher wanna be, or I mean if someone wanna be a teacher, they should have patience in teaching. I mean, if you are forced to be a teacher, then why you wanna be a teacher? And you should look for another job beside teacher, of course, because we have to clarify, or we have to explain to them that being a teacher is quite important, and it has a significant role in the country. I mean, the quality of the teacher is in fact the quality of a country. Just like in China, teacher there have a good qualified, so the country has fast development. And then in Japan, of course, and Finland, and so many countries that have good qualified teachers is also have a good regulation in developing their country. So yeah, I think I would, if I were the government, I would ask them first whether you really want to be a teacher or not. If you are forced, or if you are not, if you actually don't want to be a teacher, then go find another job beside a teacher. Thank you.
Okay, I want to ask you, Mr. Ari. Basically,
Sure.
I am in engineering, and I come here. I didn't want to be a teacher, but my parents said to me, you have to take English department. He said like that. Okay, I will take this department.
Sure.
Okay. My question is, everyone here didn't want to be a teacher. They actually ask for parent. So, what is your point of view about this case?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Benny, for the question. And
Well, first I would like to tell my experience too. Actually, I don't want to be a teacher at first. Yeah, I want to enter the law faculty actually, but and as usual, our parents asked to enter this faculty and this department. At first, I think that okay, I should obey what my parents say, and I just do my lectures like usual, and there is no intention to learn more about being a teacher because I don't want to be a teacher at first. But in back in 2 or 3 weeks back then, I learned that being a teacher is interesting. You know, when you read some articles about education in Indonesia, when you learn that, when you know that the education system in Indonesia is really poor, and it needs our help. And if you care about this country, then being a teacher is a way to make this country better. I think that's my answer.